Alright, what's going on my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with a tier list video, dude. Yes, we are here, the first tier list of 2021. Well, I'm actually recording this in 2020 still, but the first tier list of 2021. Very, very excited to bring you guys this tier list, because I know everyone's excited and everyone wants to know who's the best legend in the game. Well, let's go ahead and go through that today. Now, last month's tier list was a bit different because we had like all my previous tier list and then I just kind of swapped and changed as I went. However, because of the release of Roger and Odin, I think we have to change things up a little bit. So I'm going to reset from fresh and kind of work off from there. So, of course, there are a couple of things that I take into consideration, my personal criteria in identifying which characters are in which tier. So, those would be, you know, the power of the unit, how much overall damage can the character output as a captain, most likely. The speed of the character, how fast can they clear content, the reliability, so are they reliable at clearing that content, their clear rate as a captain, and also their usability and versatility, which would have more usage as a sub. Like, you know, even on teams where they're not boosted, can they be put onto those teams? How many different teams can they be used for? How many pieces of content can they be used for? That is going to be a huge benefit to that character and will be placed higher up in a tier list if they have more usability and versatility. So with all that being said, let's jump into the tier list. We are currently here on OPTC-tierlist.com. I'll leave a link to the site down below in the video description if I remember. Hopefully I remember. Either way, this site is really cool, so make sure you come over here and have a look. So let's go ahead and go through it. Let's start, and I'm not going to put every single character in this list because then we're going to have like a huge list. I don't really want to do that. So characters that I don't think are like super good at all, I'm just going to leave them out. So far, I think Lucy so far is actually pretty good. I'm going to leave him on the tier list for now. I don't really know exactly where I'm going to be putting each of these characters, but I think Lucy's, I could swap and change as I go, but Lucy's definitely here. I think Judge as a sub is still really phenomenal. Dofi, he's still good, but not like, you know, the top echelon, but you know, normal attacks only just really nerfs Dofi. This guy's still not too bad. He can be used as a hybrid. Like, if you don't have many Free Spirit captains, you can still use this with a hybrid of something else, but Luffy Ace isn't that great. V2 Shanks, I think, is still extremely solid. Same with Akainu. He's really good. Same with this guy. Still very good, especially with V2 Shanks, by the way. Gil Tezora, I think he's a phenomenal character still. A really good support effect, great special ability, a great captain effect after expansion, but of course it's very difficult to find friend captains if you want to be running like double Gil Tezora, which is, it's kind of annoying the way that it's, the way that it's structured. V2 Sanji, I'm going to leave him on the tier list, but I don't think V2 Sanji's that good at all. A lot of people really like those chain boosting captains. I'm not one of those people. I think V2 Sanji is pretty bad. He needs a 6+, desperately needs a 6+, so I really hope we see that in the future. Kung Fu Luffy, I'm going to leave him in the tier list as well. I think Kung Fu Luffy is actually still relatively solid. Unfortunately, the Dex typing is the worst typing in the game. If we had better like Dex super type characters, I think this Kung Fu Luffy would be a lot better than what he is. But we'll have to wait and see, of course. Whitebeard and Marco, I'm going to leave them in the tier in B, just because their switch effect is still really good. That's kind of like what saves the character. The captain effect is pretty bad nowadays, and the special ability is okay if you want to be running like story type content, but that switch effect is what makes him so good. It makes him freaking amazing for the really difficult Garp challenges, that's for sure. We've got Shiki. Shiki is pretty bad. I'm going to leave him in the E tier for now. Brook has his uses. I'm actually going to leave him in D tier because, personally, I would rather use Brook than pretty much all these other characters, especially as captains. Brook is actually definitely still has uses. Capone, I'm going to leave him in D tier as well. He's actually still okay. Shooters are just really bad. That's the main problem with Capone right now is there's no benefit to running him over something else. But as a sub, he has some pretty good usability and versatility because the Big Father effect can last for multiple different stages, and having the effect to just block essentially everything is really useful to have. Zephyr is pretty bad. Carrot is still very good. I'm going to leave Carrot in B tier because, I mean, like, you can't use her for everything, and everyone understands that, but for the stuff that you can use her for, you're going to use Carrot because she's the fastest at doing that piece of content. If you can use Carrot for it, she's probably like 99% of the time the fastest character to be using it for. So I think Carrot is still really good. V2 Katakuri I still think is extremely solid. Of course, normal attacks only really does ruin him, but outside of that, this character is still phenomenal for really difficult content. being able to store up all the stuff, all the damage for his special ability, just to wipe the floor with the enemy team. It's so powerful, still to this day. But of course, his captain effect is pretty bad. I really hope that this guy gets a 6+ too. This guy with a 6+ actually would be kind of heat. That would be absolutely flames if this guy got a 6+. But we'll have to wait and see. Barto Cavendish, I'm going to leave in the B tier as well. He's kind of like in the same vein as Whitebeard and Marco, where for the really difficult content, Barto Cavendish is going to be like one of your best units for that, because the switch effect is amazing. Orb boost, guaranteed orb, healing, damage reduction, and then his special ability is also enhanced damage reduction as well, and it's also an attack boost for the Driven class. And Driven unfortunately aren't the best, but still, it's a good special, good kit overall for Barto Cavendish. We've got Jack. Jack is a pretty bad unit. I'm just gonna leave him in E tier because like you can use him if you want, but it's not optimal. This Sabo I'm gonna leave in E tier, D tier, sorry. His captain effect is pretty much just trash because you have to kill something every single turn. It's not great. Special ability and sailor effects are actually very good though. Like lots of matching orbs with his sailor effect, and also as a sub providing orb boost and chain lock to the 3 classes. I think it's a free spirit fighter and shooter. Pretty nice actually. Pretty nice special ability. Sanji Judge, damn, it's A or B. I mean, I might be biased in putting them in A tier, but I really like Sanji Judge. Captain effect isn't as great anymore, but as a sub and that amazing switch effect, like, I think I gotta leave him in B tier. I don't think that they're, like, that high, but I'm a big fan of Sanji Judge. Like, I'm super biased for that character. I think they're freaking awesome. Next, we got Cracker. I think Cracker is also in B tier. He's got a great special ability, great orb manipulation, color affinity, equal highest chain boost. Well, on Japan, there is technically another character that has a higher chain boost than Cracker now, but, you know, outside of that, Cracker is still very solid. The V2 slashes, I'm going to leave them in D tier. They're both pretty average overall. They're not great. Luffy Law, I'm going to leave them in A or S. I'll leave them in S for now, that's for sure. I'll leave them for S for now, but they could potentially go to A. See, this is the thing that I want to kind of distinguish in this video is which characters are actually S tier and which ones are the A tier. I really want to try and figure that out today because I noticed in my last tier list I had a lot of characters in S tier and I kind of want to divvy that up a little bit, so I guess we'll find out along the way here how we go. V2 Big Mom, I'm going to leave them in B tier because in Kizuna Clash, she's one of the best units you can run. I mean, stat boost plus chain lock, freaking awesome. Captain effect is bad. Her switch effect is kind of underrated. Very good switch effect for the 10-star difficulty GARP challenges. Like, her switch effect alone gives herself an orb, an attack, and an orb boost. And, like, just with that alone, you can kill mini-bosses with it. It's pretty good. So I'm going to leave her in B tier for now. She's very good. Sabo Koala, for now, I'll leave them in S tier because we're going to try and figure this out later on, as I said, but Sabo Koala is still very good, but more often than not, you're going to be seeing them used as a sub more than a captain these days because the captain effect, it's annoying, but they've got a great switch, they've got a great special. Honestly, Sabo Koala will never be bad because of their very unique special, so that's that. Cat Dog, I'm going to leave them in C tier. I think they are slightly better than the characters in D tier. Although I do use like Guild Azura a lot, but overall, just as an overall kit, I do think that Cat Dog is slightly better than all the characters here in D tier. Vivi Rebecca, S tier, no doubt. They have to be S tier. Well, okay, well, technically not. As a sub, they're S tier, but because of their really bad captain effect, I actually will put them down in A tier. Because, of course, we're looking at everything here. Captain, special, everything. And because of that, I don't think that they should be S tier, but, I mean, the amount of times that I do use them, yeah, they're pretty much S tier, but their captain effect is what really, really brings them down, but don't get it twisted, the character is phenomenal. What else do we have here? This is Shiroshi Mancherry. I'm going to leave them in C tier for now. I think that's a relatively fair position for them. We've got Stampede Luffy, who I'm going to put in B tier for now, but you could probably make the argument he's A tier. I don't like Stampede Luffy special. That's like the number one thing that I really don't like about Stampede Luffy is that special. And the special ability is not amazing because it only works for himself. And you know, you can definitely find uses for him, but in most cases, I'm only using Stampede Luffy if the boss is an int enemy, because obviously he has the type advantage and everything. Outside of that, I'm rarely ever using him. His captain effect is still pretty good though. You know, the resisting of paralysis and despair is pretty awesome, but I can't really put him in A tier considering the other characters that we have to put in here, right? We've got Kaido, who I think is in A tier. He's really good. Even on content where you don't think he's going to be able to do it, he can just do it because he's Kaido, right? He's just so good. So yeah, I'm going to leave him in A tier for now. Halloween Ace, I'm going to leave in A tier as well. He's got a great captain effect. Unfortunately, he only boosts fighter and shooter. That's his big downside, is the classes that he boosts are not great. But he's got a good support effect, he's got a good special. And that's pretty much why I'd leave him in A tier. He's very similar to Stampede Luffy in a way. Like, they're good, but you're not going to use them all the time. I use Halloween Ace a lot more as a support these days. It's really good support. Onami, I'm going to leave in C tier. No, I'm going to put him in D tier. Onami's not good. Onami is not good, unfortunately. With a very small change, Onami could legit be one of the best legends in the game. But unfortunately, if the enemy has defense down... Oh, no, not defense down. If she's got full immunity. If the boss has full immunity, it's a pointless special in a lot of cases. So that is the big downside to Onami, unfortunately. And having to be at full HP to get the most out of it is also kind of an annoying thing. So Onami with a 6+ would be very, very good. Komurosaki, I'm going to leave in C tier. I think she's a very underrated legend. She's very powerful. I use her a lot for the quick GARP challenges. I use her all the time. She's very, very strong. We've got Chopper here. I am also going to put Chopper in C tier. I've been using him a lot for the cotton candy dupe dropping. But look, when you're ranking these characters in a tier list for overall, like, in terms of how good the legend is as a unit, I don't think Chopper is, like, you know, the top echelon. But in terms of usability, you know, using him to get the additional cotton candy, and I used him in a couple of my showcases that are coming up as well. I think by the time this video goes out, the showcase videos for Odin and Roger should probably be out. I did use Chopper a couple of times during those showcase videos because he's really, really cool for that. But overall, I think Chopper should be here. But I mean, if you said he's in B tier, I probably wouldn't argue with you. Chopper's still a pretty good unit overall. Luffy Zora, I'm going to put in B tier. Luffy Zora is still usable, but of course with the release of Kozuki Odin, Kozuki Odin is basically a better version of Luffy and Zora, but that doesn't mean that this character is bad in any sense. It means if you have Luffy Zora, you can hybrid up with Kozuki Odin, you can run a lot of different things. You know, Luffy Zora is still solid. They're still a really solid unit, but the characters above them just have higher multipliers and they just do more things. Good switch effect, by the way. Very, very good switch. Now, Sober Mask, I do think, is better than Luffy Zora. I'm going to put them in A tier. The really bad thing about Sober Mask is his captain effect. It does not have damage reduction, no healing, and no HP boost. All of that is extremely bad, especially in this day and age. Like, having none of those defensive style effects in his captain effect is awful. And for that reason, I'm going to put him in A tier, but everything else about the character, I love. I adore Sober Mask so much. If you get him, be very happy. He's one of the best offensive subs in the game. Very powerful unit. Now, Nami and Robin, I'm going to put them in B tier. I don't like Nami and Robin that much. I could be a bit biased here by putting them a little lower than what people would expect. Some people may put them in A tier. I don't like them that much. I haven't used them that much at all. They are still very solid. Again, I think the main problem is there's not many good Dex units overall that they really work with. But, like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about the character. I just don't use them that much, and I never have, like, a reason to use them. Sometimes their switch effect is going to be useful to just store orbs and then use them later on. But they are restricted to mainly only boosting Dex and Int with their special, so that is also a little bit of a downside. But they do remove a lot of paralysis, which is quite nice. They are a Nami and a Robin unit, so you can attach pretty decent supports to them. But overall, just a pretty okay unit. That's all I really have to say about that. And then Pudding, I guess, is in the same tier as well. Pudding, I actually do like Pudding a lot more nowadays compared to Nami Robin. I use Pudding way more than Nami Robin, but nowadays, I think I'll just leave it like that. Nami Robin, I don't really like putting him in this tier because, like, I feel like every other character in this tier I would rather use pretty much over Nami Robin, and like Pudding is a lot better than Nami Robin at the moment. But I can't put Pudding in A tier. I can't do that. Like, if there was like an in-between tier, Pudding would probably be in there with like a couple of other units in here. But no, I'll leave it for now. Pudding is a really unique unit, and she's like the only character in the game that can do what she does. So yeah, it's always nice to have Pudding for sure. Arlong crew, D tier. They're pretty bad. Although I actually did use them in my Kozuki Odin showcase video, because having that attack boost to him being a slasher and also being strength, like, it just works really well. But unfortunately, Arlong's not great. He's just not a good unit. And then you got Shanks crew. No doubt he is S tier. If you don't think he's S tier, you eat glue. No, my god, dude. Shanks crew's so good. Then you've got, what's his name? Mihawk and Perona. They A tier for sure. I'm not a big fan of their captain effect. I don't really like using them as a captain, but their switch effect is amazing. 1500 heal, and the negative effect, so that you can use their special ability to get the guaranteed conditional boost. Their special ability does like really good orb manipulation as well, where it gets rid of block orbs, and their captain effect has, you know, the effect to make all type orbs matching. And but the thing with the captain effect I don't like is that it decreases the chances of recovery orbs appearing. That's pretty annoying. Especially in high difficulty content, but of course they're built in such a way where you don't want to get recovery orbs, you want to get type orbs to get their attack multiplier. So it makes sense the way that they're built, but I don't like the way that they're built, you know. But just as a sub usage, phenomenal, like really powerful unit to have. Great typing as well, great classes. Mihawk and Prono are great. They got good supports too. They're really good supports. So overall they're really good. V3 Rayleigh, I'm going to put him in D tier for now. Like, again, it's like Arlong Crew's release. It's like this unit's just average. Very minor changes that they could make to make this character a lot better than what he currently is. I guess with the release of Goldie Roger, technically, you know, this Rayleigh could be used a lot more. But, nah, don't worry about that. Rayleigh's not that great. He needs a 6+. We've got V3 Cruzan. I'm going to put him in C tier for now. Again, he's a chain boosting captain, but he is the best of the chain boosting captains. So you got, like, you know, Sanju's the worst one. Then you got, you know, this Mihawk, and then you got Cruzan. Cruzan is the best of the chain boosters for sure. But no, there's no reason why he would be up there. So there's still all the 6+s that we got to put in as well, but we're moving into the super type stuff here. So we got super type Snake Man, S tier for sure, no doubt. Sabo is going to be in B tier. Yeah, he's going to be in B tier. I guess with the release of Kozuki Odin, technically, you know, Sabo is a lot better. You could use Kozuki Odin and do some really cool things with that, but across the board, Sabo Special is the real big thing that really lets him down, unfortunately. Super type Katakuri, I am also going to put in B tier. No, I can't. I gotta put my boy in A tier. He's really good. Super type Katakuri is really good, man. The super type special for the guaranteed delay and the 2x attack, 2x conditional special, like, it's way too good. Yeah, I haven't used Katakuri that much this month, but man, whenever I do use him, he is just amazing. Whenever you proc the super type, you're below 50%, you have everything active, like, it's just utter decimation. It's utter decimation. It's so strong. Blackbeard is also A tier. Like, pretty much, I think they should, like, these two should be pretty close to each other. I don't think Blackbeard is like the top tier, but he is still very good. Super type Kid, where would I put him? I guess I'm gonna put him in A tier as well. I like almost everything about Kid, but his captain effect does have a little bit of issue. Like, it's the same sort of thing with Sober Mask, where you don't get any, like, you know, recovery mechanics, no damage reduction. I don't think he has a health boost either. So all of those things are really bad for Kid, and Dex being one of the worst colors in the game, like, all of those things are just really bad for the unit. So I don't like that at all. Hawkins, I'm going to leave in B tier. Hawkins and Sabo are pretty similar in terms of, like, where I'd place. Hawkins, I would still use Hawkins a lot more over Sabo, though. Like, I do kind of like the way that Hawkins plays the game. But again, there's just a couple of really annoying things about him that they could change to make him a lot better than what he currently is. Trafalgar Law, yeah, top tier, no doubt. One of my favorite legends in the game. So good. V3 Akanu. Now, I previously had him in top tier, but I don't think I want to put him there anymore. I'm going to put V3 Akanu in the A tier. That's where I would put him personally right now, because every time I use him, I just, like, get annoyed, because it's like, I still have, like, even though he gives you so many beneficial slots, it's like, I still need to bring a character to get guaranteed matching slots. Like, you can't fully rely on his captain effect to give you orbs, so you do have to rely on another special still to do that. His special ability is good, you know, the attack boost and the conditional boost and barrier removal, which is kind of unique. But in a lot of cases, it's just like, yeah, you don't really need to bring it. You don't really need certain effects that he has all the time. And, you know, with immunity buffs being very common, you know, he does give you the conditional boost, which is good. And, you know, if you are able to get the conditional boost, plus the attack boost, plus everything, yeah, it is so good. Like, again, same as Katakuri, it's utter decimation. But when you launch the special and you just get the attack boost, it's really nothing special. It's just an attack boost. You don't get anything else on top of that. You know, matching slots or anything. So that's a little bit of a downside there, but still across the board, a powerful unit, better than a lot of characters in the game, that's for sure. V3 Akanu is still good, don't get it twisted. Now we've got Smoker. Smoker, I think, is probably an A tier character as well. The quick typing is relatively solid. His captain effect only does boost quick. There's just lots of really bad things about Smoker that they could change to make him a lot better. I don't like his super type special. It's arguably one of the worst super type specials in the game. Just extending the duration of attack and orbs by 1. But again, he's only really limited to quick. So that's the really bad side about him. And, you know, the way that they've kind of structured it, they really want you to use double smoker, use both their specials, both their super type specials, so you have 3 turns of 2.5 attack, 2.5 orbs. But then if the enemy removes your beneficial effects, you just lose it all. And he has the immunity buff to resist burn and attack down. But again, if the enemy removes your beneficial effects, that also gets removed. So there's like so many annoying things about this character I just don't like. But I mean, honestly, with everything that I've said, I'm going to put him in B tier. Smoker is just really poorly designed. Very poorly designed unit. But then you got Sugar. And Sugar is an S tier character, sorry. She is definitely S tier, one of the best legends in the game. No doubt. No doubt. And then you got V3 Boa. We'll talk about her in a little bit. We've got those 3 legends that released this month. Let's move on to some of the other characters that we have here. V1 Rayleigh. V1 Rayleigh is a B tier unit because amazing support effect, amazing special, amazing crewmate effects. Captain effect is trash though, but everything else is like god tier, so he needs to be on the list somewhere. What else do we have here? We have, I mean, this V1 Law is still useful in some cases. Buggy, whatever, Jimbei. This Judge is actually still pretty good. We'll put Judge wherever the other Judge is. Corazon pretty much goes wherever Rayleigh is. They're pretty much on the same level as each other. What else do we have here? We got V1 Snake Man. V1 Snake Man I still think is really good. Should I put him in S tier though? No, in terms of multiply, he is a lot weaker than the other characters in the game. Man, it's been a long time coming, but Snake Man, I think I will put him in the tier below S. He's gonna be a lower tier character. Can you believe it, man? Yeah, I think he kind of is though. I mean, he still can definitely clear a lot of the events, you know, with very good hybrids. But if we're just talking a unit by itself and on paper what the unit does, he is a lot weaker than some of the other characters that we have now. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave him in A tier, unfortunately, as it is. Don't get it twisted, though. Don't think, oh, you know, he's not in top tier anymore. He's not bad. Because he is still a really good unit. I still like using this guy from like, every now and again. But comparing to the ones in S tier, like, I would much rather use every single character in S tier over this guy, for sure. No doubt. So that's that, I guess. What else do we have here? We have... not really much else. V1 Akainu is still relatively solid. I'm going to put him in DT because he's actually still pretty good. Nami is also still pretty good as well. Great, actually she's probably higher. She's probably in C tier. In terms of special and crewmate effect, she's very powerful. Shirahoshi still has uses. I'll put her in the bottom tier because, you know, Rainbow Orbs are kind of broken. Douglas Bullet, yeah, my man Douglas Bullet ain't going nowhere. He is still in S tier. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's still indeed S tier. We've got the Lucy 6+. I'm going to leave him in C tier. He's kind of better than the strength version. Then you've also got V1 Katakuri. I'm going to leave him in C tier as well because he still has his uses as well. We've got Marco. I'll leave him in C tier because healing and orb boost is very good. Quickbeard, I'm going to leave him in a higher tier. He's going to be in A tier. He's A or B. With his expansion, he's A tier. I'm going to leave him in B tier for now. Yeah, if you expand the limit break of this Whitebeard, I'd probably say he's A tier because it's a very good captain effect. Special ability is still very solid too. Striker and Powerhouse is such a good combination of classes, and you can still use Kaido as well as a friend captain. Lots of really good things there. What else do we have here? We also have Fujitora. I mean, Fujitora, I'll leave him in the bottom tier because he still can be used. We've got Garp. Garp is pretty much where Tezora is. Yeah, he's like really good sub, but outside of that, Captain Effect. I mean, Captain Effect is actually still usable. Yeah, because his 6+ Captain Effect is actually really good. So I'll leave it in C. Yeah, that's fair. Rayleigh. Rayleigh's going to be in D tier. Yeah. I mean, with his expansion, he would be in C tier, I would say. But base 6+ Captain, yeah, it's not nothing really, you know, broken or anything. It's a pretty bland captain effect, you know, 4 times if you're below like 30% or something. Like it's not a great captain effect. What else do we have here? I think that's pretty much it in terms of the super evolutions, because now you're moving into the JP stuff. But we do have Jimbei. Jimbei is also a brand new character that came out, or is going to be out by the time this tier list comes out, or he's going to be like out like the day of. So I will put him on this tier list. I'm going to leave him in D tier. This Jimbei with his 6+, he unfortunately doesn't get the buffs that he really needed to make him a better unit. His special ability is still kind of restrictive, but like again, you can use him in content, it's fine, but at least he can be hybrided up with a lot of good units, I guess. But outside of that, he's not a great unit. But then we're going to move on to the actual like good stuff that's dropped this month. So we've got V3 Boa, Kozuki Odin, and also Goldie Roger. Now, where should we put these characters? This is going to be a bit of a tough one, because I do think that V3 Boa is an S tier character. The Mirror or the Love Beam effect is pretty broken in high difficulty content, essentially infinite stalling on some different stages, especially if you run double Boa. The healing that she gets from her special is very strong. She arguably has the best super type special in the game with a full board of slots and a 2.5 attack boost to her color. Her captain effect is still pretty solid too. There's lots of things to like about V3 Boa, and the side typing, I mean, especially with the release of Goldie Roger, is very powerful. I mean, you've got V3 Law here as well, man. Like, the side typing is very good, and like, she is a rainbow captain at the end of the day, so you don't even have to run like Psy units on your team if you don't want to. So for that reason, I think V3 Boa is an easy S tier. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. And then you've got Kozuki Odin and Goldie Roger, which, if you're comparing, you know, both of those units to the characters in this tier, they are pretty much on the same level as them. I'm going to put Kozuki Odin in the top tier. I am also, no doubt, putting Goldie Roger in the top tier. There is no reason why they shouldn't be here. Now, are there any characters in the S tier that I would want to drop down? Because if we're talking about raw captains, I don't think Sabo Koala sees as much play as a captain anymore compared to some of the other characters in the game. But again, like, when I put a character lower, please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that they're like the worst character now. They're still very good. They are still exceptional characters. But it's just their captain effect is not as usable or as powerful as the other characters in the top tier here. One thing though that I will say is about the new characters that we put into this tier list here is Kozuki Odin. I do not like his super type special, though, you know, in the showcase it does actually add a lot of attack to the unit, and overall it gives him pretty good amount of damage output. I just feel like it should have done something extra. It should have done something more. I'm not a big fan of super type specials that are like super restricted to only that character. Like, I want a super type special that benefits my whole team. And unfortunately, Kozuki Odin doesn't do that. He only just buffs himself, whereas Roger, on the other hand, buffs the team. You've got Boa, who buffs the team. You've got Sugar, buffs the team. You've got Snake Man, buffs the team. You kind of see a theme here, right? Where you've got Odin, he only buffs himself, which is a bit of a downside, but everything else about Odin is really broken. Captain effect is very solid, and his special ability, he's the only character in the game that can give Wano slots as a sub. You know, Luffy, Zoro, you know, they give Wano slots, but they have to be the captain in order to give you those Wano slots, of course. So that's that, right? And then you've also got, you know, Goldie Roger, who has arguably the best captain effect in the game on global right now. In terms of raw damage, yeah, he probably does, because he boosts everyone, and he's a 5x captain, removing beneficial effect. You know, he resists it. The special ability, 3x attack boost, damage that goes through everything, extending the duration of orb boost, like the combination of Roger and Odin together to have a full body matching slots. You turn them into Wano, 2.5 orb boost for 3 turns, use his special, 3x attack, extend that orb boost so it becomes the 3 turns. Then you can move into multiple stages, you resist, remove beneficial effects, so you keep your orb boost, and then you have your second Roger to give you another attack boost. It's way too good. Having a 5x captain, Wano slots, 2.5 orb boost, just everything, it's way too strong. The combination of Odin and Roger is currently the best core team build in the game. Nothing comes close to that in terms of damage, right? It's such an easy thing to build if you have the units, of course. You know, it's, you know, you're double Roger and Odin, and that's pretty much all the damage you'll need in a lot of cases, and then you can basically fill the rest of your team out with utility units. It's pretty crazy. So with all that being said, I think this is a pretty fair look at the current climate of Global's best legends. There isn't really many changes that I would really need to make here. Like, some of these characters have really good support effects that you could potentially put on the tier list just because of that. But a majority of these units nowadays are just pretty bad in generic content. Like, I really wouldn't recommend using nearly any of these units as like subs or captains, really, to be honest. Some of them maybe in some very specific circumstances, but like Usopp has a really good delay effect as a sub, so I guess you could put him on the list, right? But I guess that's pretty much it. But in terms of like the best legends, S tier and A tier, yeah, I would pretty much agree with all of that. And of course, you've got like the very outlier units like Corazon and Rayleigh, who, you know, only are really used as subs pretty much exclusively and supports, but they're still the best of the supports and subs in the game in overall utility. So Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with how these characters are listed here. If you guys have any differences or any, characters that you think should be higher or characters you think that should be lower on this list, let me know. But as I said, this is my personal opinion on what I think are the best legends currently on Global. And if you guys are just getting into the game, and I know a lot of people are re-rolling trying to get Roger and stuff, I really hope you guys, get back into the game or, try and learn the game, because it's a bunch of fun. And definitely having some of these characters in the top tier are going to help you along your way. That is for sure. But I think with all that being said, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.